Things are never what they seem. The ways of God are not the ways of human beings. The way God thinks is not at all the way the world thinks. Jesus preached the gospel of paradox. Last week we learned that true wealth belongs not to the one who has the most money, but to the one who has the most detachment. Today we hear the same type of paradox. The one who is truly great is not the one who lords it over everyone else, but the one who is the servant of all. These are truths that do not easily fit into the mindset of human beings, but fit perfectly into the mindset of God. True greatness belongs to the one who serves in all humility. Or as the modern spiritual writer and lecturer Marianne Williamson puts it, our greatness is liberated most by a desire to help, a desire to serve. All of us know such models of humble greatness. For me, some of the greatest inspiration came from the sisters who taught me in school. It has become fashionable in our day to ridicule or even demonize those nuns. But those selfless women served the people of this country in quiet, unassuming ways of which few others would have been capable, and they asked for nothing in return. One of the canonized saints who served in America was named Mother Marianne. Born in Germany, she came as a small child to upstate New York, where in 1862 she entered the Franciscan Sisters. Following the way of her founder, who had a tremendous love for the sick poor, Mother was instrumental in founding the 2 first public hospitals in central New York, hospitals that are still going today. These were the first hospitals whose charter specified that they were there for everyone, regardless of nationality, color, or religion. In those days, that was something revolutionary in this country. Mother Marianne had a love for all God's sick poor. In 1883, she received a letter, an appeal from the King of Hawaii, asking for a religious community to come and care for the people of Hawaii afflicted with the terrible disease of leprosy. The appeal went out to 50 religious leaders, and Mother Marianne was the only one of those 50 to say yes. She was not afraid of any sacrifice or cross that came her way, for she was one of God's truly great, one of those who served in humility. As the Reverend Jesse Jackson used to say, we must not measure greatness from the mansion down, but rather from the manger up. Mother united herself with the greatness of the Christ in the humility of the manger. She took some of her sisters to Hawaii, and they began to minister to those afflicted with leprosy. 5 years later, she was still in Hawaii, and the king asked her to go to a very special place called Molokai, where Father Damien had been caring for the lepers for years. Mother was faced with a dilemma at this new summons. She knew that if she went to Molokai, she would never leave there. No one who went there could come back. She knew she had a choice: either refuse the call or never see her beloved family and friends again, never return home. Without hesitating, she said yes, and went to the leper colony at Molokai to continue the work of Father Damien, who was already dying of the disease. She was able to console him in his last days, promising him that she would continue the great service he had begun. In this way, the great apostle to the lepers was able to die in peace, knowing that his work would be carried on even after he was no longer there. Mother Marianne became the mother to the afflicted and was known as Mother of the Outcasts. The well-known Scottish Protestant writer Robert Louis Stevenson, who visited the islands in the late 1880s, was so impressed by the work of Father Damien and Mother Marianne that he wrote a poem for her. He writes, "To see the infinite pity of this place, the mangled limb, the devastated face, the innocent sufferer smiling at the rod, a fool were tempted to deny his God. He sees and shrinks, but if he looks again, lo, beauty springing from the breast of pain. He marks the sisters on the painful shores, and even a fool is silent and adores." In her humble, invisible service, Mother Marianne attained true greatness. In our own topsy-turvy world, where the gospel of selfishness is preached unabashedly by some who hide behind what passes for religion, when greatness is measured by the size of a bank account or the size of an ego, when even some in the church itself have reverted to a pretentious pomposity of past imperial pride, it is well to stand with the Protestant poet on Molokai's desolate shore, be awed in the presence of true greatness there, fall silent and adore.